Welcome to our show, U.S. Briefing. Today, we have some exciting news to share. First up, Deb Haaland is making headlines as she officially launches her campaign for governor of New Mexico. As the first Native American cabinet secretary, she could become the first Native American woman to hold this position in any state. With a focus on progressive policies and sustainable development, her campaign is set against a backdrop of shifting political dynamics in New Mexico. Next, we dive into President Trump's recent executive orders that aim to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs from the military. This controversial move has sparked debates about its implications for transgender service members and the overall military recruitment landscape. As Trump reinstates troops discharged for refusing COVID-19 vaccines, the military is bracing for significant changes. Lastly, we explore the evolving relationship between the U.S. and China, particularly concerning India's strategic role in the Quad alliance. As Trump softens his approach to China, analysts suggest that U.S.-India ties are expected to strengthen, driven by shared interests in technology and security. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage of these stories. Associated Press reports on Deb Haaland's historic campaign for governor of New Mexico, a state rich in oil production and home to a diverse Native American population. As the first Native American cabinet secretary under President Biden, Haaland aims to become the first Native American woman to govern any state. With the current Democratic governor, Michelle Lujan Grisham, terming out by 2026 and no significant Republican challengers in sight, Haaland's candidacy comes at a time when Democrats have solidified control over statewide offices. Her platform includes a commitment to conservation and the Green New Deal, as she seeks to manage the economic benefits from the booming oil production in the Permian Basin while addressing pressing issues like crime and homelessness. Australian Broadcasting Corporation discusses President Trump's recent executive orders targeting diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives across federal departments, including the military. DEI programs, which have been criticized by Republicans as detrimental to merit-based hiring, aim to promote opportunities for underrepresented groups in the workforce. Trump's administration argues that dismantling these programs will enhance military readiness and recruitment. The potential reinstatement of thousands of service members dismissed for refusing COVID-19 vaccinations is another aspect of this order, which has sparked significant debate about its implications for unit cohesion and the overall effectiveness of military personnel. South China Morning Post analyzes the implications of warmer U.S.-China relations under President Trump's second term and how this affects India's strategic positioning. As Trump adopts a softer approach towards China, experts emphasize that India's role as a key Quad partner remains crucial for counterbalancing China's influence in the Indo-Pacific. The Quad, comprising India, the US, Japan, and Australia, is seen as a vital security alliance. Analysts suggest that despite any temporary shifts in US-China relations, India's technological potential and strategic importance will ensure it remains a focal point for US foreign policy, with expectations of deepening cooperation in various sectors beyond just countering China. Associated Press reports that Asian shares experienced a mixed outcome following a significant sell-off in U.S. tech stocks, primarily driven by a competitive threat from China's AI company, DeepSeek. The Nikkei 225 in Japan fell by 0.9%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng saw a slight increase of 0.2%. The tech sector in Japan faced notable declines, with SoftBank Group Corporation plunging 10% and Tokyo Electron dropping 7.6%. The U.S. market was similarly affected, with the S&P 500 dropping 1.5% and Nvidia's stock plummeting 16.9%. DeepSeek's introduction of a competitive AI model raised concerns about the sustainability of the AI market boom, leading to skepticism among analysts about its long-term impact on the economy. In another development, President Trump confirmed that Microsoft is among the U.S. companies interested in acquiring TikTok to prevent a potential ban set to take effect in April. Trump expressed optimism about the possibility of a bidding war, indicating that multiple companies are vying for ownership. The deadline for TikTok to secure new ownership was extended by Trump, who mentioned the government's desire to retain a 50% stake in the app, which is owned by China's ByteDance. The ongoing discussions reflect national security concerns regarding Chinese ownership of the popular platform, which has over 170 million users in the U.S. Despite previous failed bids, Microsoft remains a key player in the negotiations. Nikkei Asia highlights the significance of China's Lunar New Year holidays, which began on Tuesday, as a test of the government's efforts to boost consumer spending through subsidies. Millions are expected to travel during this period, with the government predicting a record 9 billion trips. Despite a recent contraction in manufacturing activity, the anticipation of increased travel and spending is palpable, with local governments promoting subsidy programs for household goods and consumer activities. Shopping centers and e-commerce platforms have embraced these initiatives, offering discounts and promoting government subsidies. However, analysts remain cautious about consumer spending, as reflected in the declining stock prices of companies like Kuaichao Mutai, indicating that while optimism exists, the economic recovery may still be fragile. Guardian Donald Trump has taken significant steps to reshape the U.S. military by signing executive orders that eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives, reinstate troops discharged for refusing the COVID-19 vaccine, and address issues related to transgender service members. On his first full day as Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth emphasized the importance of these changes, including the controversial order aimed at removing what Trump termed gender radicalism from the military. This move follows Trump's previous attempts to ban transgender individuals from military service, which were partially rolled back by President Biden. The reinstatement of thousands of service members dismissed for their vaccination status marks a shift in military policy, with officials now focusing on internal reforms and the implementation of a new air defense initiative dubbed the American Iron Dome, inspired by Israel's successful system. South China Morning Post: as concerns grow over China's expanding influence in Panama, the head of the Federal Maritime Commission is set to present options to the U.S. Senate on how to counteract this trend. With President Trump expressing intentions to reclaim the Panama Canal, which remains under Panamanian control, officials are advocating for increased support for American businesses in the region. Federal Maritime Commission Chair Louis E. Sola highlighted the need to prevent Chinese firms from monopolizing development contracts, particularly those related to crucial infrastructure near the canal. Senate Commerce Committee Chair Ted Cruz echoed these sentiments, criticizing Panama for allegedly ceding control to China. Amidst this geopolitical tension, Panama's president defended the nation's management of the canal, emphasizing its importance for global trade, especially for the U.S., which relies on the canal for a substantial portion of its container traffic. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.